The Galactic Council chambers fell silent as Admiral Zethkar's holographic form materialized before the assembled representatives. His 6 arms trembled slightly, a rare display of emotion from the usually stoic Krillian war leader. The reconnaissance mission to the 3rd planet has concluded, he announced, his voice carrying across the vast amphitheater. All 12 warrior units have been neutralized. A collective gasp echoed through the chamber. 12 units, each comprising the finest soldiers from different species across the galaxy. The Krillians with their impenetrable exoskeletons, the Vorthak with their plasma-resistant hides, the ethereal Zephyrians who could phase through matter itself. All gone. Impossible, hissed Ambassador Veltar, her serpentine form coiling in disbelief. These were our apex predators, our perfect killing machines. How could primitive mammals defeat them? Admiral Zethkar's mandibles clicked nervously. The humans? They fight differently than any species we've encountered. Our tactical databases were wholly inadequate. The first unit, led by Commander Draxon, had landed in what humans called Afghanistan. The mountainous terrain seemed ideal for their guerrilla tactics. The Krillians were masters of siege warfare, their shells capable of withstanding direct plasma cannon fire. Yet within 48 hours, all communication ceased. The last transmission was Draxon's confused report about farmers with ancient weapons who somehow knew exactly where to strike. Unit 2 fared no better in the Vietnamese jungles. The Vorthak specialized in toxic environments, their biology immune to most chemical warfare. But the humans didn't use chemicals, they used the jungle itself. Traps that would have been crude to any advanced civilization became deadly in the hands of beings who understood their environment with preternatural intimacy. They don't fight like warriors, Zethkar continued, his voice hollow. They fight like the planet itself is their weapon. The Zephyrians had been sent to urban environments, thinking their phasing abilities would give them an insurmountable advantage. They could walk through walls, become incorporeal at will, strike from impossible angles. Yet somehow the humans had anticipated this. Motion sensors, thermal imaging, pattern recognition, primitive technologies wielded with devastating effectiveness. Show them the final transmission, demanded Counselor Threx, his crystalline form pulsing with frustrated energy. The chamber darkened as a holographic display activated. Grainy footage showed the last moments of Unit 12. Elite Cronian assassins, beings who could move faster than most species could perceive, found themselves surrounded in what appeared to be an empty warehouse. Then the walls came alive with humans, emerging from positions that shouldn't have been possible to hide in. Admiral Zexthal stared at the holographic display with what humans might have recognized as bewilderment. The hegemony's greatest military minds had gathered in the war chamber of their flagship, the Eternal Dominion, to witness what should have been humanity's final capitulation. Instead, they found themselves analyzing the most peculiar surrender message they had ever received. "Play it again," Zexthal commanded, his 4 arms crossed in contemplation. The communication officer's tendrils trembled as she activated the recording. A human male appeared in the hologram, weathered face, graying hair, wearing the simple uniform of their species' military. Behind him, alarms blared and emergency lights bathed everything in crimson. "This is Admiral Harrison Chin speaking for Human Command," the figure said with an unsettling calmness. "Your ultimatum has been received and considered. Since you have chosen war over our repeated offers of peace, we accept your challenge. Let us show you how it's done." The transmission ended abruptly. "That's it." General Vorthak clicked his mandibles nervously. "No begging? No listing of their civilian populations? No desperate bargaining?" Zexthal had commanded fleets across 3 galactic sectors. He had witnessed the surrender of 17 different species, each following predictable patterns of desperation, pleading, and eventual submission. The humans' response violated every psychological profile the hegemony had developed. "Perhaps they're simply delusional," offered Strategic Coordinator Yilneth. "Their military is a fraction of our size. Their technology is centuries behind ours. Their worlds are scattered and poorly defended." Zexthal nodded slowly, but something nagged at him. The humans' eyes in that recording, they hadn't held fear or desperation. They had held something far more disturbing: anticipation. 3 days later, the hegemony's confidence began to crack. The first strike came from nowhere. The Crimson Talon, a battlecruiser patrolling the outer rim of the Proxima system, simply vanished. No distress signal, no explosion detected. One moment it was there, the next it was gone. The loss was attributed to mechanical failure until the second ship disappeared, then the third. They're using some kind of stealth technology, Zexthal announced to his staff, trying to maintain composure. Deploy sensor arrays. Nothing moves in this system without our knowledge. But the attacks continued, growing bolder. Human ships appeared as if materializing from empty space, struck with surgical precision and vanished before retaliation was possible. Worse, they seemed to know exactly where to hit, targeting command centers, weapon arrays, and life support systems with devastating accuracy. By the end of the first week, the hegemony had lost a quarter of their invasion fleet. How? Vorthe K demanded during an emergency briefing. Our intelligence networks are extensive. We've monitored their communications.